All right, now we are on our way to Fullerton Airport. Fullerton is not very far from John Wayne. It was the first airport that I flew to in my flight training, and Julie and I have spent a lot of time at the restaurant at Fullerton, Wings Cafe, great restaurant. What is very surprising about Fullerton Airport is how sketchy it feels when you're flying in there. It's like flying down a hallway. There's obstructions on all four ends of the runway, and it really makes you feel a little bit claustrophobic flying in there. The runway is relatively short. I'll get the number here in a second. Let's see. Runway 3,100 feet, 75 feet wide. Oh, look at that. Angel Stadium. That looks awesome. So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of zigzag here on the way to Fullerton, because just like John Wayne, a lot of what sells the airport is the surrounding scenery. So, you know, having that detailed really brings out the airport itself, even if the airport facilities aren't that great. And there's Angel Stadium, brilliantly modeled there. That's actually really, really nice. I worked there. Julia worked there for a long time. Julia worked for the catering company that had Angel Stadium. She almost ran that place, and then I worked for the team itself in the sales department. So that is a very special place for us. There's the Honda Center where the Ducks play. A bunch of concerts there as well. That looks awesome. That looks really, really awesome. You can't complain about space on approach. Tell that to A318 pilots at London City. Every place is gonna, results may vary. Results may vary. So SimEdge, I upgraded the CPU, motherboard, and RAM. There is California Adventure and Disneyland here. We're gonna do like a really illegal steep turn here. What's up, Reaper? That's some Go Padres. Get out of here. So there's Disneyland and California Adventure. That looks amazing. That's something that we did not get in X-Plane, even with a really high res ortho or scenery pack did not include that. Disneyland, that looks amazing. That looks really amazing. So far we're looking good. We're gonna come up here to the I-591 interchange. We're right over the 5 right now. Getting to Fullerton is relatively easy because you can take 4 or 5 different freeways to get there. This is the 5, and then you can see right here, maybe not, as the scenery renders, is the 91 freeway, and that parallels Fullerton, and so the 91 freeway parallels it. The 5 and the 57 are kind of perpendicular east and west. So it's pretty easy to find if you can spot one of those freeways and kind of know where to orient yourself. The actual airport is going to be off my left wing right now. We're going to come in for a kind of an extended final, left base extended final. Yeah, this is manually cached. Most of this is manually cached. San Andreas looks good. That it looks amazing, and the closer you get, the better it looks. Obviously, if you look straight down there, that looks incredible. Fullerton is a cool town. Cal State Fullerton is a VFR waypoint on the sectional, and that's going to be right off my right wing right there. That's Cal State Fullerton, so that looks good. This whole area looks really, really nice, actually. It looks like Fullerton High School right there. There's a group of hospital buildings. Yeah, I think that's it right off my nose. That's a group of hospitals right there. So that'll start to render out here in a second. power back. This is awesome. So flying into Fullerton, again, I'm going to probably say this multiple times. The approach into the airport being more realistic than the actual facilities might not be a bad trade-off for the moment. It depends on how broken the actual airport looks, but right now, this is Fullerton. That's awesome. Downtown Fullerton. DTF, as it's known locally. Reaper, well, that's where I think a lot of this technology will be brought into, procedurally generating real-world areas on a large scale. Imagine if you pare this down to just LA or just New York, rather than the entire world. The amount of detail you could get is pretty staggering. I've gotten way too drunk multiple times in DTF. Julia just said, me too. So this is what I mean by, you've got all these warehouses on short final coming into Fullerton. It really feels like you're landing, on a postage stamp on a hallway. It starts to close in, especially coming from someplace a lot bigger like John Wayne. This is... you've got a lot of obstructions here on final, on a relatively narrow and short runway. It's longer than 20 left is, but it still doesn't give you a ton of space to make many mistakes. Okay, that's really touchy. Again, this is not a review on airplane performance or pilot performance. This is simply a tour of airports. That is my second landing in this plane, and it was about as crap as you would imagine a second landing would be. This is not terrible. That's weird. So yeah, this feels a lot more closed in than the X-Plane one. Okay, you're just gonna have to get out of the way here, man. It feels a lot more closed in than X-Plane did. The buildings are very, very generic, but overall, this doesn't feel too dissimilar from what we got from X-Plane. It's missing the entire tower complex. So right off the wing there is where the restaurant and the office, the administration building, and the tower is. So that's completely gone. And then we have the really narrow taxiway, which is good, as well as some FBO facilities on either side. We've got the hangars over there, which those look like storage unit doors. Those are not hangar doors. How different does the True Earth Orbix and X-Plane look? I don't have True Earth. I was happy from the screenshots that I saw. I was happier with my ortho plus the West Coast buildings update than I was with the Orbix True Earth stuff. So I wasn't really that impressed with the Orbix scenery. Yeah, this is on multiplayer. Yeah. All right, so that's a little bit weird. Fullerton is one of the airports that I don't think is going to get a lot of love in terms of airport support. That is super jank. That is really, really jank right there. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Someone's out of shape coming in there. Is that an A3? Is that the A320? Yeah, the Airbus is not going to make it into this. And I think so. Oh, no. Oh, they're going to make it happen. They're going to make it work. Okay. Make it happen, buddy. Go around. That's a good decision. All right, so I'm going to try to be as generous as possible for these reviews. That is pretty bad. But overall, it's not too bad coming in the experience-wise. You're missing the facilities, obviously, tower, restaurant, all that stuff. But the actual feel of flying into Fullerton feels pretty good. That actually felt pretty realistic in terms of what Fullerton looks like. So we'll wait until we take off and see how it feels for takeoff. But that was pretty good. Yeah, 320 into Fullerton sounds pretty legit. No tower's a little bit rough, Draconis. I agree. Yeah, this is Fullerton. So the approach felt great, and there's some stuff on the departure that we'll check out here. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to depart Fullerton and see what the departure feels like. 24. This is the typical runway. So those hangars feel pretty real. The ones on the left side does not feel great.
Pull up. Pull up.
And we are up. 21.8 for Goldsy. Hydralisk Hots, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. Okay, one of the hazards at Fullerton is there is a gigantic radio tower off the right side of the departure end, which is not there. So that's not there. Otherwise, that departure felt pretty real. Yeah, that feels pretty awesome. And then we're gonna turn. I'm gonna turn a little bit to the left here. This isn't exactly how I would go for our next stop, but I want to see one more landmark that is very noticeable as you leave Fullerton. See if we can find it. It's going to be our second amusement park. So that's the 91 freeway right there. That is the worst freeway on planet Earth. It goes all the way into the Inland Empire. Friggin' hate that freeway. Yeah, we're gonna try to find Knott's Berry Farm, and I think we're right over it. There it is. It's very noticeable leaving Fullerton. It wasn't super noticeable, I think, mainly because of the pop-in, but that's pretty awesome right there. That is pretty awesome. So with Disneyland, Angel Stadium, Honda Center, Knott's Berry Farm, the Cal State Fullerton, the surrounding area, I give that a pretty high mark. Given the simplicity of Fullerton itself versus John Wayne, there's a lot fewer things to go wrong in the scenery. So I actually give that a C+. I give Fullerton a C+. It's missing the tower and the restaurant, which is very weird, but C+. It's better than John Wayne, and just the surrounding area kind of makes it a little bit more fun. So I'll give that a C+. It would be actually probably a B- if it just had a control tower. The fact that it doesn't have any control tower at all is really weird. so that's not bad. That's not bad. C+ I think is going to be the highest grade for a while here. So I need to fly over USC. Yeah, dude, if it's not in an airport, it's going to be pretty damn good. So a C+ for Fullerton. Good job, Microsoft.